Okay, I'm live. Hope I'm doing this right. Let me press record on this deal. Excellent, excellent, excellent. This is Loser Leaves Wrestling. Loser Leaves Wrestling, the woos and whats of AEW Dynamite. This was just Blood and Guts. We just finished watching Blood and Guts, everyone. AEW Dynamite. We're streaming live on YouTube. My name is Red Jefferson. I'm usually joined here with a co-host, co-creator Moet Jaswal, but he is out in North Carolina to visit his family. This is all very good, very positive. Sound off in the comments if what your thoughts on Blood and Guts were, or if you just want to say hi. Just say hi. I'm fine with that as well. We've got a lot to talk about today because Blood and Guts happened, and I have some mixed feelings. I have some real mixed feelings about it. Still not sure how I feel about Blood and Guts in general. It's an interesting lot. Let's just start off. This is the woos and whats of AEW Dynamite. Woos and whats. Woos being good things, whats being not so good things. The woos and the whats, as we like to say here at Loser Leaves Wrestling. Make sure to follow us on all the things and check out the podcast. But let's move on. Let's talk about the first big woo of the evening. Hey, Smiz. Hey, Smiz, how are we today? But we got to talk. Let's talk about the woo. I got distracted immediately. Let's go talk about it. The number one woo of the evening is the first half of Blood and Guts. The first half of Blood and Guts was great. This is a match that was split in two. Everything before the match, the bell ringing once everyone was entered in, and then the post part. The first part was amazing. I loved how it gave everyone their own little spot, their own little time to shine. Sammy Guevara looked great. Ortiz was on fire. Ortiz was wonderful. I love Ortiz and Santana's makeup, like Dead Presidents, I think it was. Sound off in the comments that was Dead Presidents. Hey, Chica Marks, how are we? District by work. I got woos and whats. So much booing tonight. So much booing tonight by Chica Marks. There's a lot of booing tonight. I've had a lot of boos. I was booing at the screen specifically. Other good things about that first half. Also, Cash Wheeler is amazing. We all have to take a moment to notice that Cash Wheeler is doing a great job. So much fire, brings so much energy to each part of the match that he's in. Great stuff. Then they're going to talk about the whats. I'm going to go back and forth here. One of the big whats of the evening was the second half of Blood and Guts, which I felt was very disjointed. These commercials did not help this match any. Going away for such a long period of time, then they come back and half the ring is destroyed, and then they go away again, and then they come back, they're on top of the cage. I didn't see the ring get destroyed. I didn't see them go on top of the cage. I'm not saying that they shouldn't. I don't think they should do these matches for TV. You have to see the entirety of it. Or if they do, have one of those things where, like, oh, this is sponsored you by Twizzler, and they're paying for all the commercials for this half-hour block. For another thing, the match was too long. The match was too long. An issue I had with that, it just felt rambly at times, especially when up Inner Circle got the upper hand, it was beating down on Pinnacle, and it just felt like it was going on forever. Them beating them down and not really doing anything. And then they got to the top when they're on the climb. Jericho and MJF are on the top battling it out. It just felt lackluster, a little lackluster because of how long it took to get to that point. Jericho falling off at the end. Oh, by the way, MJF and the Pinnacle won. They got Sammy Guevara to surrender because they thought they were going to push Jericho off, which I'm fine. I'm fine with that. In general, but it just didn't come off too well. And then pushing him off, Jericho breaks through the play metal sheeting. It was obviously, like, it looked good when it was just laying there, but there was obviously some sort of bendy, wafty material. What are your all thoughts on that? It was more like blood and butts. Good job, Smiz. Good job. Dax and QT both got their arses out tonight. They did. A lot of butts. We'll talk about QT just pulling down his pants later. I wasn't so much for an issue for me on Fight. I'm guessing that was the commercials. I guess Fight TV didn't have those commercials. And Chica Marks agreed, and I can't focus during picture-in-picture. That's the picture-in-picture. I'm okay with it in certain instances, but for these big matches, I don't know what to do with them. I don't know what to do. But moving on. We've got so much to talk about. So many great things. Some good things. A woo. This felt like a pay-per-view. Blood and Guts. I like that as a branding. I like how they do these special Dynamites where they have Winters coming and then Blood and Guts and what have you. I like that. I enjoyed that. By the way, there's not a lot of woos for me. I didn't like this show. I don't know if I was clear to you on that. Let's go to another what. Another what for me. Let's talk about QT and his butt. So Cody versus QT is on my list. As a matter of fact, a good amount of the matches are on my what's. There's the QT versus Cody for the Arn interference. QT purposely taking off his pants, and then Ogogo's one punch. So Cody Rhodes gets the win over QT Marshall. It was an all right match. It wasn't anything to write home about. And then Ogogo comes out. He gets this one punch on Cody. And he's been doing this thing where he gets one punch in and they fall to the ground and they can't move. I would have loved that so much more if the whole team came out and held him so they could get that one punch. I don't like the idea of one punch being able to stop anyone, because then what's the point of having a match? It just feels it breaks my spectrum of reality or whatever, the suspension of disbelief that one punch is able to stop someone. At least have them hold him so he gets a real good one, a carefully thought out punch to make it more of a setup. But I didn't like that. Then the opening match, what was this? Moxley and Eddie Kingston versus Nakazawa and Omega. It was silly. But my main issue with it, and with all the matches, is why do we even have refs? Okay, I don't want to sound like Jim Cornette over here. I don't want to sound like I'm just talking old school wrestling, but I feel that if the refs there, they should be doing something. If they're just screaming out numbers and no one's listening to them, there's no point. I'd rather than just do something outside the box and have a match with no refs. And then like the counting's done, the 3 count, just the 3 count, because that's the only thing that matters, is done by the big Titantron in the back. The Dynamite set up that way so you could see both at the same time. I don't know why there are refs there if they're not going to be listened to or thought of. They literally are just getting in the way. Literally. That's me that pronounce words. Literally just getting in the way if they're not being officials. So if you sound off if you agree. Sound if you think I'm trying to sound like Jim Cornette. I'm not trying to sound like Jim Cornette. That'd be a bad thing. But I didn't get it. The refs don't do anything. No one pays attention to the count, and I wrote that. Then the Elite beatdown after that Nakazawa Omega Moxley Eddie match. They beat him down, and it was just, I don't know. One thing I noticed, and tell me what you think about this. Eddie Kingston. I like Eddie Kingston. I like him as a whole, not necessarily for his individual parts, but I like Eddie Kingston. But some of the issues I have with him, first being his ranting and raving promos, where I think if he planned a little bit, they would be amazing. His wrestling style, does he look like he's in pain? Maybe it was from years of doing very aggressive style wrestling, but he looks like he's in pain all the time. He moves like he's in pain. He's having trouble. There was this one part of the match where Kenny hit him and he just kind of like floated to the ground, like he landed on his feet, then his hands. And it was just a weird moment. Maybe I'm being picky, but I just want Eddie Kingston to do well and feel well. Let's see what we got in here. The rest of QT's group gets no time. I have no idea about the hairy man and the small man. That's a good point. We don't know about the hairy man and the small man with the Factory. We know that they're named the Factory. We know QT is now evil, and he's like every other heel in AEW right now. For the most part, all AEW heels are the same because there's no difference between them. But I would love to know more about the small man and the hairy man, as well as a go-go. And Chica Mark says, I love Aubrey's body language. She's so intense. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Aubrey Edwards is a great ref. I think they have great refs there. It's just that they have no purpose if there's no rule following. If there's no rule following, then why do we have that's a frame on a picture? That's just what they have to do. It's just paint in the frame. And sure, different matches that are no disqualification, they go outside the frame. You could do different things, but regular matches should have a frame. I will stand by that forever. Sound off in the comments if you think there should be frames of matches. So yeah, this makes sense. I'm making a lot of sense. Okay, so I'm going to get away from that a little bit. Let's go to another woo of the evening. Let's talk about this. Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. I thought they had a little promo that was sweet. It was good, short and sweet. Scorpio Sky's getting a little bit more comfortable. Maybe it's his podcast. Maybe his podcast is helping. I'm going to tilt this up so you can't see my messy bed. But maybe the podcast is helping. Maybe that's helping him come out of his shell. But Ethan Page had a very good promo where he's talking about the history between him and Darby Allin. So I feel like that should have been said a while ago. I haven't had any idea why Ethan Page was really there or interested in Darby at all. But I'm glad to hear that there's a reason. They have a history together. And he even made a joke, like, even though no one saw it, but that's the reason why he has a pain on his face, is because there's like a dent in his head that Ethan Page put there. And he's got a rod in his arm. And see, like, now I'm getting some context. Now I care a little bit. I wish I cared before when they was first starting out. So, but we're here now. We're here now. We can't complain about it. We're happy. They're satiating us with story, relevant story. So we can't be mad. They'll stop doing it. They'll take it away from us. We all know this to be true. Yeah, so moving on, they had that. And then Darby came out. They had a great little fight, brawl, which I enjoyed. It makes me excited. Makes me excited for what's going to happen with that. See, that's all you have to do, AEW. Damn it, Tony. TK. Come on. Okay, moving on. The tag match, that big tag was just messy. This is a woo. This is a woo, by the way. This is not a woo. This is a what? What? Because it's bad, not good. The tag match was messy and boring. The Varsity Blondes need matching trunks. I think they should have that. They could be a team. They're a team now. They have a theme music. Just be a team. Yeah, that was about it with that. And I'll just give you another what while I'm at it is the Omega promo with Tony and Orange Cassidy. It was too long. At first I was trying to enjoy the promo. And I want to enjoy the promo. I want to enjoy everything that AEW does. I go in excited about it, but Kenny has a problem with getting in front of himself. He knows he's charismatic in the ring, and he's trying to be just as charismatic out of the ring. So he's trying to be off the cuff, but he's also very nervous. He's a very anxious guy, you could tell. And then he gets in front of himself, and then he's trying to be cool, but then also trying to recovering from not looking cool. And he just ends up rambling. Poor Tony. What is he doing out there? Why do they keep grabbing I'm sounding like Jim Cornette again. They're grabbing the mic from Tony, and his only job out there is to hold the damn mic. And they should just let him be. Let him be. Oh, Barb agrees so much. Thank you so much, Barb. Check out Tabasco Sass. So my issue with that is just the mechanics of it. Went on too long. And I get it. Omega's disrespecting Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy is not a whatever. He's not up to his par. But I just wish it was more succinct. Can't we be more succinct? I know that they don't have writers there, but can't you rehearse? Can't you think about your thing before you go out and do it? You know? And I'm not Jim Cornette. I'm telling you right now. That's about it. That's all the woos and whats that I had. Thank you all so much. Let's see if there's anything in here. I like Kenny's line. People want to be like you because they can. Okay. They're just a reel back to the Omega line. That was a good line. That was a really good line. And you could tell he thought that out. And that's my point. Thank you for making my point, Chica Marks. I appreciate it. Sound off in the comments so you agree. That you should like that's a thought out line. That's definitely thought beforehand. And I'm not saying you have to think of things word for word, but have a plan going out there. I don't think Kenny or most of the wrestlers in AEW have a plan. And maybe I'm just being picky, but I don't want to be picky. But this has been, let's just get off this while I'm ahead. We've done a good job here. Thank you all so much for listening to this rant, this a 14-minute rant that I just went on, because we're all into this together. We're all doing our best here at AEW. Swiz says, overall disappointing show, but next week's show looks good. Great point, Swiz. Great point, Swiz. Let's just really talk about that right next. Next week, we got, for first up, Miro versus Darby Allin, which I'm very excited for because I like Miro. I didn't like his promo today. It was kind of whatever for me, but I think he's a very good wrestler, and that match should be very good. Should be very good because Darby knows how to work with anyone. I really like Darby, and Miro is just a powerhouse, which I really enjoy. What else is next week? There's some great stuff. I just can't remember. Oh, Jon Moxley versus oh man, if I forget his name, I better end this. I think his name's Yugi, and very excited for that because I know Mowat's very excited about it, and so I'm excited about it too. Let's all sound up for Mowat and be excited about Mowat. Hopefully coming back, so I don't scream at you guys anymore. Thank you all so much for listening. Follow Loser Leaves Wrestling on Instagram, and make sure to go to the podcast and listen to the podcast, or at least rate us, review us on Apple Podcasts, please, please, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And also UG. What did I say? I said Yugi. God damn it. But thank you all so much, and make sure to check our Instagram as well, and send us some emails. Send us some emails to Loser Leaves Pod so we can answer your questions for the mailbag with Moa. But that's all I have. This has been 15 minutes and 30 seconds. Real positive. And thank you all so much. Have a great night. Bye-bye. Ending stream. That's how I press the button. And we're all hoping for the best. I'm new to doing my own stream. Being this is difficult. I'm trying to see. Thank you so much. They're sounding off. Even when I press end stream and nothing happens, your stream will stop immediately. You will no longer be able to go live. Thank you all so much. We're doing great. We're doing great work. End stream.